take? We're gonna take the 550. 350's down there. The 250 the wife has. We're gonna take the Tundra. Drum roll, drum roll, drum roll, drum roll, drum roll. Oh yeah. We're gonna take the Tundra today, boys. Let's get at it. Guys, we're hooked up. Looking a little saggy. Let's put some air in this. Firestone airbags, airlift wireless 1 compressor. You can see her coming up. So in this trailer, I've got a Can-Am 800 with the track kit, which adds a lot of weight, and I've got this generator with fuel, which is pretty heavy. The generator itself is about 250 pounds. And then you add these 2 full jugs of fuel on here, and yeah, it's not light. Trailer is a little over 2,000 pounds, so you know, we're somewhere probably around 4,000 pounds right now when it's all said and done. But there's quite a bit of tongue weight. Trailer is all the way to the front to make room for the generator. So we're gonna hit the road here in a second. Go hook up the first generator and see what today brings. So usually I'm all gun-ho to go wherever stuff is needed to be done, and it's usually not close to home. But I just dropped off Wendell at the vet to get his surgery done, so I kind of need to be around the area somewhat today. So this is my 2007 Toyota Tundra Limited double cab. 5.7 liter I-Force, and of course the 430 rear end, because that's just what the Tundras come in. So we are heading to hook up a generator to a cellular site that is lost power. We're outside Halifax. We don't really have a whole lot of weather here, so I'm thinking that they had some issues last year with some salt getting on the transmission lines and damaging transmission lines coming off the ocean, and I think that's probably what it is. We have had a few, you know, pretty good gusts of wind, but nothing crazy. But there's tons of snow and bad weather all over the Maritimes today. And typically I would be absolutely gun-ho to go wherever, because, you know, it's what makes me money this time of year. But today, my 1.5-year-old Great Pyrenees Maremma mix, Wendell, I dropped him off at 8 o'clock this morning for his surgery on his knee. He's getting TPLO surgery to his ACL. And he's going to be ready to come home at around 7 o'clock tonight, and my wife certainly can't handle him by himself. You know, he's like 90 pounds, big dog, and you know, we have trucks, got to get him up in there. Typically he can just climb up in there himself using the running board and using the truck, but today that's not going to be able to happen. So I really can't go wide open, so hopefully I'm able to stick around this area. There are a few outages, so hopefully I can stick around here. So yeah, so my truck here has 382,000 kilometers on it. Alright, so I got interrupted there, but I just got a phone call from, you know, my contact, and he said there's 170 sites down through the Maritimes on PEI itself, there's 50, what did he say, 49 or 52 sites, and 34 of them are down. Basically all of Halifax, everything from Yarmouth up through the valley, everything from New Glasgow to the Copquid Pass, everything from Halifax to Truro. It's all over the place. So it looks like it's going to be a long day. So I might need to make some arrangements for Wendell. But you know, yeah, getting back to the truck. I've had the truck for about 2 years. I've put roughly 180,000 kilometers on it of hard use. You know, you see what I do. Before the 250 came along, it was this truck, my 150 and the 350, but this was my go-to truck. This is what I would jump in every time. Last Christmas we had a big storm, and I was out on Christmas Day, and I never got done until the 28th. And I had the 250 and I had the 350, but I took this truck. This was my truck of choice for, you know, a couple reasons. I didn't take the 350 because I kept that around, has a plow on it in case some plowing needed to be done. And I didn't take my 250 because during storms like this, you don't know what you're going to get into. There could be trees down, there could be all kinds of things going on. So I didn't want to take my 250 driving it in through, you know, grown in access roads and things like that. So I took this truck. So this truck has been very good to me. You know, for the price I paid for it, I got a really good deal on it. It works really good. So this truck right now has 35 by 12.5, 20 General Grabber X3s. It's got a 3 and 2 leveling kit, and I have Firestone airbags with an Airlift Wireless 1 compressor that I, you know, obviously swear by, especially in situations like this. Now, this isn't a lot of weight, but just having the ability to bring it right back up to stock height is really, really awesome, and it just makes the truck feel so much more confident. Once we get there, you know, we'll unload, hook up the generator, and we'll get at it. But yeah, this truck works great. I love it. It's I've always wanted a Tundra when I was growing up, and then I bought this truck, and I was so excited, so happy with it. I had my 2014 F-150 when I bought this truck, and this is 7 years older, and I gave the 150 to one of my guys, and I drove this. For a few reasons. I mean, this truck is loaded. It's a limited. It's got power seats, heated seats, dual climate control, power mirrors, you know, all that stuff. And the 150 had power, nothing. Power windows, power locks, basically that's it. The one downfall with this truck in these storms and stuff is, you know, these trucks aren't the easiest thing on fuel. Everybody knows that. But I can deal with that. The big downfall with these trucks is the fuel tank is just too damn small. When you're towing weights, you're hooking up generators, and you're driving all over the place. Sometimes I'm driving 3 or 4 hours before you even get to where I need to be to hook something up. Filling up all the time is a pain in the butt. And a lot of times it's late at night when we're doing this stuff, and a lot of gas stations aren't even open. But we always have fuel jugs on the back because the generators that we're hooking up, the portables, they're gas. So we have gas on board, so we can, you know, at least pull over and fill up those tanks. But anyway, we're just gonna keep trekking on here, guys. When we get to the site, I'll sort of update you, but it looks like it's gonna be a pretty long day. So here we go. So I got you on my chest mount here again. I'm just getting ready to merge onto the highway, so I'm gonna do a little acceleration, and we have the Borla dual exhaust. Sounds nice. We gotta slow down because there's a car in front of us going pretty slow. All those lights are flashing like Christmas trees because I have a speed sensor that's gone, as I talked about in a recent video. You know, it affects your ABS and your traction control. But the other day, my wife had this truck and the four-wheel drive was slipping in and out, so it's starting to affect that as well. So I definitely need to get that fixed. But the truck has loads of power. Boys, so she's all hooked up. Site is up and running. I forgot to mention I got the Gen Y torsion hitch here on this truck. Absolutely phenomenal. I'll do a review on that. But I just got a call and they want me to go do a site in a pretty remote area, and they probably got some snow there, so I'm gonna actually hook up to the 350 with the plow and I'm gonna take that. But when they designed this road, they must have designed it for like a Honda Civic or something. I mean, look, I got in no problem, but there's not a whole lot of room to spare. And of course, people are dumping garbage around here, so I'll get called to clean that up later on. But all right, so we're gonna go drop the Tundra at the house, drop the trailer, hook up to the 350, hook back up to the trailer, and head down. Here we go. All right, so I got a phone call about an hour ago from the vet, and they said they had to cancel his surgery because of the power outages. You know, it's a pain in the butt for sure, because now we'll have to bring him back in again and all that stuff. But it's also kind of a blessing, because with all these sites down, I need to be able to go wherever they need me to go. So it sucks, but it's also a blessing. The only downfall is that they shaved his leg and sedated him. So we'll see how that goes. So change of plans, guys. We're gonna be keeping this truck. We're not going to plow. We're going to a more local site for me. You hear my brake squeak. They've been doing that for the last, honestly, 4 months. I had a complete brake job done on this truck, and ever since then they've been squeaking. I thought it was the pads, so we changed the pads out, and it's still doing it. The only thing left to change out is the rotors, and I really don't want to do that, considering we just put them on. But it drives me absolutely nuts, and there's nothing that will make it go away. So I'm probably gonna have to bite the bullet and do it. It's honestly like embarrassing, because people will hear the brakes and they'll think, oh man, he hasn't changed his brakes forever, that guy needs a friggin' brake job. But that's not the case. The brakes are actually brand new, and it still won't shut up. It really sucks going through drive-thrus. Everyone's looking at you, or driving through a parking lot, everyone's staring at you. But anyway, it's a complete shit show here, to be honest. Basically, all of Halifax is without power. There's like no street lights anywhere that are working. It's like complete log jam everywhere. Everywhere traffic is backed up. People are driving like idiots. And you know, I was really confused trying to figure out why there were so many power outages, because I mean, look, it's not that bad. We've had some really bad weather and we haven't lost near as many sites. I know it's bad in other areas of the province, but here there's like absolutely nothing really that would cause this many outages. But I just got a little bit of inside information that it seems to be the main transmission line that brings power in from into New Brunswick, like southern New Brunswick, PEI, and Nova Scotia, that is causing the issue. So that's what I was trying to figure out all along, like what is going on, why there's so many outages, and they keep losing more and more, and that's what it is. So it's the main line coming in, and that's why there's so many outages right now. So I got Wendell in the truck with me. Pretty much I'd say, you know, like once one site comes back up, they're pretty much all gonna come back up. So it might not be as long of a day as what I thought it was gonna be. But regardless, we're heading home to grab another generator. I'm gonna switch trailers because that's just easier than unloading a generator, reloading a generator, all that, you know, dealing with all that weight. So I'm just gonna drop this trailer, hook up to the other trailer, and go hook up that site. So we're hooked up to the other trailer now, on our way to the next site. So a couple advantages of equipment that I have. So one being the airbags. I was able to, you know, drop the air in the airbags to make the trailer easier to unload, and get hooked on to the next trailer, and then put the air back in to give it the ride quality back again, and the factory ride height. So you know, there's those advantages too. With the Gen Y torsion hitch, the trailer that I had originally has a 2-inch ball, and this trailer has a 2 5/16 ball. So you just pull it out, flip it around, and you're good to go. That Gen Y hitch, like I said, I'm going to do a review on that, but that is the best hitch that I've ever owned, hands down. Yes, it's expensive, but I've had that for 3 years, and it's towed, you know, 16,000 pounds. It's been out in the weather quite a bit, you know, in the salt, towing in situations like this. It's been through hell, and it shows no signs of damage whatsoever. You can go out and buy a cheap hitch. And you might go through 3 or 4 of them before you're even gonna scratch this one. So keep that in mind. I swear to God that the world is coming to an end here today. Like, it's nuts. Look at the people getting fuel. You can't even get in anywhere. Move on to the next one, I guess. This one is not much better. Especially when you got a trailer hooked up to you. Here's the funny part about the weather today. We were just down, like, we just climbed maybe 200, 250, 300 feet, and we went from rain to snow. Every elevation change in this weather today makes huge differences on the weather. Like, I've never seen such a variation in atmospheres. Like right now, you know, the trees have snow on them. There's snow on the shoulders of the road. People's driveways are covered, and just down at the bottom of that small little hill, everything's just wet. All right, just pulling in the site road here. Someone was already in here earlier on. Footprints too. We are climbing a small little grade here, and look at the difference in the weather. that's one thing there I hate about the Tundras, is it doesn't hold the truck in drive on a hill. It would just start coasting back. Every Tundra I've ever been in does that. It doesn't make sense at all. Like, I don't love these trucks, but I don't know what that's all about. Around right here. What happens often during these events is you hurry around and get to the site as fast as you can, and you get there and the power's back on. These sites have an AC fail relay, so they know when the power's out and typically when the power's back on. But right now, with so many sites down, they're not tracking that as closely as what they would if there's only a few. So we're gonna head out of here and head on to another one that we can hopefully get into, but we don't know if we can get into because it's a coded lock, a power coded lock. You gotta go through a storage facility. The last time I went there during a storm, I couldn't get in. So we're gonna go find out. So this site is up and going. So basically now we just kind of hang out. We're gonna let this site charge for a bit, and then we'll probably have to come back and get this generator to take to another site because we ran out of generators as of right now. So now it's a bit of a waiting game, and the wind's actually picking up, so should be interesting. But we went from like 50 sites down in this area to 12 down right now, so we're starting to win the game. So we are going to head home for a little bit here. Hour and a half, 2 hours, unless I get a phone call. So we're out of generators and most of the sites are taken care of. The plan is to go pick up that generator that I just dropped and take it to a different site at 4 o'clock. So we're gonna charge that site up for a few hours, 2 hours, go pick that up and take it to a new site if the power is still down at that other site. The only issue is our access through into the site we just dropped the generator at is through a storage facility, and we have a touch code. And it doesn't work because there's no power. The code lights up green, it is the right code, but the motor in the gate has no power. They obviously don't have a generator backup at that facility, but there's a contractor next door and the gate was open, so I was able to get the generator hooked up. But there is a very high possibility that I get back there today at 4 o'clock and the gate's locked and I can't get in if there's still no power. So we're gonna see how that goes. For now, I'm gonna go home, relax for 45 minutes or so to an hour, and then I'll go fill up the truck and head back out. We're back to where it all started. So we're at the first site we hooked the generator up at. Checking to see if the power's on. If the power's back on here, we're gonna unhook this. And it sounds like we have a few in the Truro area to do, which is about an hour or so away from here. Power is back on here. I can see the meter flashing. So I'm gonna unhook the generator at this site, and it looks like I'll be taking this one and the other one I have and heading further and further away from home. So it was too good to be true, just like I thought. Get back in here, load this generator up, and move on. Got 2 more sites to hit up now. Let's go. So as usual, it's gonna be a long night. I'm now heading about an hour and a half away from the original hour away that I was supposed to go. And there's a very good chance that there is quite a bit of snow up there. So I just called in one of my guys to grab the 350 with the plow, hook up to the trailer with the ATV and tracks, because I took the bike out to make room for 2 generators inside the trailer, because where I was I didn't need the bike, but where I'm going, I'm predicting that I'm either gonna have to plow or need the bike. It's very windy, as you can hear. We're driving straight into it. The truck is having to work very hard. At this point, I wish I did have the 250, because it'd be easier on fuel and I could have a plow on it as well, because we're running into some snow here right now. But I'm not going to videotape too much more right now, because I'm running out of battery and I'm running out of storage on my SIM card. So it might be a delay for a little bit until we get to this site. It's just like the last storm, guys. It's a complete another universe here. And we're not even anywhere near where we were last time, but it just shows you how much the weather can change. Unreal. Like, there's a lot of friggin' snow here. Of course, we just climbed probably 400 or 500 feet.